prepares to blow his whistle to get England and South Africa underway on a mild November evening in southwest London. Marcus Smith's kick. First take confidently taken by Peter Steph-Toy.
Use it! Leave him!
South Africa with Grant Williams promoted to starting scrum half today, and a first aerial question for Freddie Stewart, first of many.
Yeah, nice easy one for him, a little bit too much distance. England are going to knock one back. I would expect, well, Van Poortvliet fumbles actually, was going to box kick. But I think England will look to play too much in this middle third of the field, because on the middle third of the clock, they've actually punched themselves out in the first two games. Lots of big forward carries. They lost energy in that middle part of the game and then came back into it at the end. I think they'll try and use this kicking game early on to try and conserve a bit of energy in their big boys so that they can continue for the full 80 minutes with some of those big ball carries.
Well, you want to see the difference with this new law interpretation, what a really big fullback gives you. When he takes the ball, yes, he gets off the ground well, but he gets hit by three guys. He doesn't move. He doesn't get pushed back 2 or 3 metres. He lands, and the ruck is in exactly the same spot where he lands. And that means it's easy to cover him and support him.
Now then, what about this? This will also be central to how this story is written. Smith used that kick to good effect a week ago. Ollie Slightholme profited in particular. Slade chases hard, but Cheslin Kolbe back.
Look at the trajectory of the kick from Smith. It's so low that it doesn't allow Cheslin Kolbe the time to get back out and defend.
Oh, goodness me, Sir Khaleesi on Ben Earl, counting ribs. England deliberately throwing it long to Earl. Earl striving for breath right now, but he's back on his feet and he's back in position. Van Poortvliet, Smith, oh, Slightholme, he's got a lot of work to do and realised that, so came back in field initially.
Onside.
He's hit by Etzebeth. Itoje. Oh, you can hear the tackles without the need.
Counter's good. For
our effects Mike's pitch side. Here's Sam Underhill, how good to see him back, roaming around for England.
Onside.
Smith, half shape for the drop goal, and then opens things up. Smith with Slade, Slightholme! Oh, England!
Marcus Smith is definitely back in the pocket, ready for a drop goal. But it's Etzebeth who flies out of the line for the charge down and leaves no one at home on that blindside. Smith spots it, dummies the drop kick, gets round the outside of the defenders, then it's all about the 3-on-2 on the outside. Hold your defender, keep your shoulders square, and time your pass to perfection. Great from Marcus Smith in terms of vision and his ability to get outside those front row forwards. And Slightholme, who's had a big start, makes no mistake with the finish. Etzebeth doesn't make many mistakes, but he makes a mistake there. Not necessarily flying out to put pressure on Marcus Smith's drop goal, but he has to stay on the right-hand side as he looks of it as Marcus Smith. So Smith has to step right across his body. He ends up going to the kicking foot side and gives Marcus Smith an easy step around the big man who's never going to be able to recover. Anyone who's watched any of their scrums over the Rugby Championship knows that Jasper Wiese will keep this at his feet and allow his front row a shot at attacking England and trying to win a penalty. Referee being asked for the penalty by Williams.
Out to 10.
Stewart's kick. It's absolutely one that he can get back underneath. Oh, he did very well, right to the point that he knocked it on as he came to ground.
You're knocked forward and you're on the ground. You've got to be on your feet to play the ball.
He's not allowed to play it.
I think he's got an argument that he's blocked ever so slightly by Etzebeth. He's always been, his super strength has been chasing kicks, collecting kicks. He's worked on his speed.
5 and 10.
South Africa throw.
Beyond 15.
Just inside the 10-metre line. It's picked up by Curtly Arendse. Entering Kolbe with that clear and present danger today. Peter Steph-Toy.
Tackle.
Williams having to dig and then shove to get possession. Etzebeth. Hard work from Ollie Lawrence to stop the Springboks.
The contest.
Taken to the ground by Wilco Lowe. Libok. Smith swings across, but he's beaten to the ball by Aronson. Player of the match in the win here a couple of years ago, and South Africa having a look down that left-hand side. Snyman does nicely to employ Apaleli Fassi, Sharks fullback. And then the little break, and away they go, and South Africa scoring an absolute peach. What about that?
Just watch how Williams bounces out of this ruck. So he takes a step back and jumps to the side, and he's looking at how the defenders... Cunningham South goes first. That causes problems for Martin because he doesn't want to leave Ellis Genge, but he's already been left by Cunningham South. And that means he almost gets caught in no man's land in between the two defenders. That gives the dog leg, but just that subtle movement from Williams, and then once he bursts through, there aren't many better balanced runners in the game than Williams, and what a finish that is. Doesn't get a hand on him.
Slightholm got there first, and then it was Khaleesi, and then the ball beating Lawrence into touch.
If that stays in from Van Poortvliet, I think Lawrence scores that. Lawrence makes the call. I just think England want to give away as a cheap free kick here, allow South Africa out without having to work for it. It's a little bit unstructured, that, from South Africa. They need to recover, get some bodies over the ball, set a good platform for this clearance.
It's gone back.
England chasing, South Africa clearing. Slightholm fumbling, but not fatally. Stewart. Oh, Stewart makes good ground, and white shirts there to recycle quickly. The speed of England's recycling, one of the troubling aspects for Steve Borthwick last week, as South Africa work hard over that ball, try and slow things down for England.
England just guilty of going too far past the breakdown with their clear out, which allows Peter Steph du Toit to come round.
Okay, no more.
It's just a penalty. It's clearly a rough. Yeah, the refs say no more. And then he can't help himself. Big left mitt comes over the top.
7.
And England back ahead, 10-7.
Back off England.
Toje didn't gather it cleanly, but Saracens clubmate Ben Earl was there. Van Poortvliet charged down by Etzebeth, and Smith got his mate out of jail, but then England give it away again, and this might be a try! Peter Steph du Toit.
You can't really blame Marcus Smith. We know that teams are now no longer allowed to put blockers who aren't bound at the maul, and Etzebeth, one of the very best. He's onside there. He sees the dip, and he goes, and he does what all good charge down players do, gets his hands as close to the kicking foot as possible. Ignore the ball, don't try and jump up in the air, just get as close as possible.
Yeah, so he's got a clear run now, so all you've got to do is put an extra person in and make the ruck slightly longer. You know, that's what, 5 kicks now for JVP? None of them have been what he will have wanted.
But that was quite a long ruck, wasn't it? Oh, here we go,
Snyman charging away. He thought about giving it away one-handed. He did in the end to Khaleesi, and South Africa beginning to warm to this task. Williams took it in. Here's Wilco Low.
Thanks, mate. No more!
Williams. Here's Jasper Wiese. Leicester folk will remember moments like that with fondness. Libbok. Dialende. Work hard to escape the clutches of Slade.
Yeah, got it. Thank you.
It's the voice of the TMO Ben Whitehouse in the background saying there was a high tackle, so if nothing comes of this for South Africa, the Boks will have the ball.
No more.
We've got a chance here out the back, Nick.
Khaleesi furthest right. And that is who Libbok's looking for, but it was much too close to Stewart. However, advantage being played.
It was high. It was high on the tackle.
I think it's Will Stewart's. Initially, they didn't think it was high, but on review, TMO has called it in.
They've been busy all year perfecting that. It went over the top to Dialende, who was standing there.
No more.
Maybe that was part of the plan. Du Toit. Etzebeth waits. Doesn't hold on to it long. Instead, it's the big, bustling Snyman. Etzebeth again.
Carnage, no clear release.
It was
It's against Will Stewart. And then he didn't show the referee that he'd made a proper attempt to let go of the ball carrier before he attacked the ball.
Don't come over the wall.
Taken to the front, and Sneeman and South Africa trying to wheelbarrow him over.
Last feet.
Toy.
Okay, advantage offside.
The Orense goes in. England are about to concede a third penalty in quick succession as the pressure comes on. Khaleesi
Advantage.
with Lowe not far away. Williams. And then the kick over the top, looking for Kolbe. Oh, how brilliantly has he done that? Makes something that is not straightforward look very straightforward.
Watch Stewart's eyes now, he's watching him, he sees the lean, he goes just a yard the wrong side of him. Brilliant footwork from Cheslin Kolbe. Again though, Stewart will look back on that and think, I should have smashed him.
It's the little micro calculations, isn't it?
Okay, second
Have I got time to do that? That he's so sharp on his spatial awareness, but as that defender running over, you don't feel like you can go behind someone like Cheslin Kolbe, and he takes full advantage by stepping backwards.
Well, England might have scored the first try, but South Africa have scored the next three. Williams, Toy, Kolbe. 4 tries in 23 minutes. Toy.
Let it come. Let it come. Use it. Last feet.
Good pressure from Itoje, got his hands to the ball, but didn't quite deflect it enough.
Agree.
South Africa did well to get Etzebeth up in Stewart's eye line.
Springboks stayed down.
Last feet, England.
Ollie Lawrence followed through on the tackle. He's injured his ribs, I think. The South African 10, they're going to have to play without their playmaker.
Okay, neck call.
It's late there, doesn't win the collision, and he's got his arm wrapped under Henry Slade's chin and just twists and roll, and that's exactly what the referees are looking for. Any twisting motion at all, you run the risk.
There's that tackle on Libbok as well. There's nothing wrong with that. He's committed, yeah. It's just a good tackle, good strong tackle.
Kelly and South for England. Underhill. Freeman.
No effect.
George Martin steams on to good effect. England within 3 metres. Van Poortvliet just tosses it up for Itoje, who gets given a free ride.
Second time he's jumped in the contact or not had his feet on the floor and been buried backwards. Itoje. Again, England no tip on passes. So South Africa know they just need to muscle up at the moment. Double tackles.
Van Poortvliet, Lawrence. Diolende goes in, has a look. Not there quick enough. Earl, sidestep, but look at that. 1, 2, 3 Springbok defenders on him. Underhill, angles round, gets to the line.
Well, here's that initial carry from Martin. Cunningham South latches onto him to give him that extra leg drive. And then watch the angle here, back against the grain, inside Wilco Lowe. That's poor defence from Lowe. Flagging a little bit there, maybe a little bit tired. And he doesn't react to what's in front of him. He never looks up from the ruck to see who's running towards him. Spotted by Underhill, he arcs really well and then has the control with the ball despite the efforts of Libbok to place it over the line.
Smith's conversion, England with 2 tries.
All good.
That's the third.
Lawrence have very nearly got there, Austin, sorry.
It's the third restart in the row, Nick, that we haven't taken. It was the undoing against Australia right at the end. Got to take the restarts.
Yeah. Push back.
And now you've got to kick a box kick without getting charged down.
Use it.
England adding extra bodies, a little white caterpillar with Jamie George at the end of it, but again, it's not quick enough. Etzebeth's there. England just have to be quicker getting those box kicks away. And here's Slade meantime, Slightholme, the ball in the end bouncing their way. Slightholme and Lawrence will chase.
Really good kick from Slightholme. He didn't have a lot of space there.
Well,
the box kick, again, I'd like to see how close he is, Etzebeth. Yeah, I think he goes a little bit early again.
I think he does on that one. I didn't on the first one.
But what you can do is you can just move your head slightly, or you move a shoulder, you change your body shape, so he sets off and then he has to go back. At the minute, he's given all the advantage to the charge down.
Coming in south for England. And again, find themselves in a handy position. Smith, Lawrence. Once again wearing his favourite 13 shirt. Bit more space to operate in tonight. Smith to Underhill, who's really dirtying his hands early on. Atoje. Beyond Martin to George. Smith, that's nicely done. Slade. Oh, and Lawrence just couldn't bring the ball to heel.
Just wouldn't stick for him, what would it? Nice hands, first time England's forwards have used that tip-on ball, Jamie George. And then it's about controlling their feet, standing still so they can pick off those numbers and get it through the hands as quickly as possible, but the last pass wouldn't stick.
Let's see how South Africa deal with this, how Grant Williams, Jasper Wiese, the number 8 at the tail of the scrum. That makes life easier.
Maybe gets a little bit too long in his legs and he can't balance, so as Wilco Low just eases him down slightly, Ellis Genge doesn't have his feet under his hips at all, or under his knees even.
That's a bit. He played more for the Springboks. Here goes Williams again. He's done this already. And he very nearly did it again until Tommy Freeman decided that he'd had enough watching that picture.
What a turnover from Underhill. Great tackle from Freeman, and Underhill straight in on the ball, gets it back to his side.
Atoje.
Move, Seven!
Takes on Detroit.
And
here we go again. Same scenario. Extra leg this time. Is he going to keep it inside the foot? Yes, he does.
Leave it!
Taken by a flying fullback, but not cleanly.
Insert good.
Oh. Showing a little bit of hip movement of his own. Van Portfleet, Smith, again the kick from Smith. Libbock touched it. Creel underneath it for South Africa, but England's two centres, Lawrence and Slade, both there quickly. There's Fassi.
South Africa, hold on.
Space here. If he can draw and pass, he's got Etzebeth one-on-one with Freeman.
Well, he shaped to kick and then did employ Freeman. He's gone around the outside to find Earl. Underhill was up in support. Earl took it on an extra couple of paces. Genge, Smith, England opening up here. Runs into Fassi. Van Portfleet, Lawrence with the kick.
Far too deep. England will get the goal line dropout. Kick back to them, but
Boxon Che is heading off, but the knee doesn't look like it's working properly either, does it? So
here's the draw. Look, he's spotted. It's a one-on-one. Give him the ball early. Good decision. As a winger, you've got to do better against Etzebeth, but he's not the worst defender in the world, and his arms are very long. And as they recycle now, lovely ball out the back.
Okay. Yeah,
and then this is what we know has become his trademark. Left foot step, accelerate across to the cover. That's a good hit.
Does really well, Fassi there, not to hit too high.
South Africa's scrum coach, Dan Human, says he is the perfect shape to look after a scrum, and he's with us now.
Yeah, advantage, knock on. Play the advantage.
Smith, not the perfect shape to do what he does here.
Over.
Run the show from fly half. Much too close, however, to Cheslin Kolbe. Kolbe, one of those who had the weekend off in Edinburgh to cool his engines, but he's back here in London. Smith. England. Goodness me, they were lucky, England, there with Underhill.
Very lucky, yeah, missed call. Someone got that wrong. I think it was probably the middle lifter who didn't turn and lift George Martin, who was coming forward.
Once again, lovely little battle between Etzebeth and Van Portfleet. Williams. Bit of spade work. Bongiam Banambi. Thuds into Martin and Genge. Fassi. It's an interesting kick. That is a real test for Stewart.
Hold is out.
This ball swept up by Genge. He's got Will Stewart up in support.
Ball is there. Don't hold him in. Last feet.
Smith. This is meant for slight home. Early try put England ahead.
Yeah.
And Slade worked so hard to win that ball back, but knew that he couldn't pick it up from the position that he was in. Here is Steenekamp. Libbok. Up towards the dark London skies, and once again, both hands above his head, and Stewart off he goes. Freeman to the right. Where's this ball bouncing? Freeman chasing. Needs one more happy bounce.
Watch how he shapes his body.
Freddie Stewart, part of that rejuvenated Leicester side this season under Michael Cheika. Stewart back in love with rugby again.
He can't afford to give away a penalty here, Genge. See if his front row feel like they've got the upper hand. That's cheap, isn't it? Really easy get out. All the pressure on South Africa and their delivery at the back of the scrum.
Okay, on the set, all down.
Ben, do you think most of the chat this week at Pennyhill Park about the scrums has been, let's get low, let's get really, really low? Because every scrum I've seen so far, that English front row has gone particularly low. And sometimes if you lose the hit and you try and go low, you end up folding like we just saw then.
Lawrence did well not to challenge for that ball. He knew he'd been beaten by it, and his mates did the work instead.
In the air, Freeman lands with Sia Khaleesi, and you can see the accuracy of Visa. He knows Khaleesi's got the tackle. He knows he doesn't have to put his hands on. He can just wait and win that battle of the shoulders.
It's going to come round, and it doesn't. No issue with the distance, and Slade says you can start again with a throw-in. Steph Toy to Khaleesi, and now Visa. Top ball carrier in the Rugby Championship, to absolutely nobody's surprise in the Northern or Southern Hemisphere. He was doing it again just then. Etzebeth. Oh, that is not something you see very often. Cannonballing off his titanium-crusted chest.
Okay, last feet. Yeah, that's time.
Time up. And England will head in and contemplate a first half that might have been worse.
South Africa with a very, very strong bench to add reinforcements as this half goes on.
There's a lovely restart from Libbok as Snyman chased hard. It forced England to knock on.
He played him in the air, Snyman. He played his inside arm, forcing him to knock it on. They've got a chance now.
Visa. Locks creaking when he's on the ball. Peter Steph du Toit. Cunningham South helping to bring him down. Bongi Mbonambi, South Africa, quickly into fourth gear, maybe fifth very shortly. Here's Lowe. Du Toit. Etzebeth.
Roll into the line, advantage.
England conceding the penalty. Here's Kolbe. Oh, that's what he does. Here's Fassi.
Yeah. No 7.
Flung out any which way to Visa. Still playing the advantage. Low waits. Instead it's Libbok and Dialende. Oh, and that didn't work, and the advantage was over, and the chance has gone.
But this step,
Advantage
it's like
over.
a shotgun in his foot, isn't it, into the floor?
But he starts on the wrong side of the breakdown, comes back, and then just as
Cheslin
Jamie
straight
George
through.
braces for that contact into his shoulder, he feels fresh air.
Oxenche will not return. That leg injury proving to be more serious than he would have wanted it to be. And Steenekamp with us now for the duration. Visa again.
No bomb squad late on in the game for England to face.
Dialende, lovely pass to Fassi. And this is Curtly Aronson. Sprint for the line, brilliant.
Have a word with Mallow, Chris.
I'm going to show you a forward pass by South Africa, 15.
Okay, it's going to be a no try. Passes slowly forward under the hands. They're going to go back for penalty.
I've seen those ignored in the past, Nick. I think we all have.
4 jumping across. Yeah.
Not complaining, by the way.
Timing good.
8 from 8 becomes 9 from 9 as Bongi Mbonambi picks out RG Snyman. Dialende. Held on to by Smith.
Footwork from Diolande originally.
Then two claps and this way
Earl
down.
read the tackle from Marcus
Stay
Smith
up, don't
perfectly.
collapse down too.
And as soon as he hits the floor, Earl is clamped on the ball.
Cunningham South for England. Still just 2 points in it. 5 minutes into the second half. One by Kolbe, but England's chase was insistent.
7 first man again into offset. 7 first man.
Fourth penalty at the breakdown for South Africa. It's an identical penalty to the last one. Big momentum shift.
Andre Pollard is on, and so too is Malcolm Marks as Bongi Mbonambi trots off. Jamie George with the ball for England from the scrum. Du Toit holding on to George's shirt. Van Portfleet belting out the orders. Taken in by Slade. Going through a couple of tests now after the shoulder operation over the summer. Genge. England just fancying it again. The shock of conceding those quick tries in a row. But Smith, and that's gone forwards. The referee might want to look at that. On we go.
Ball is out there, lads.
Cunningham South. There's a Steenkamp who got down low. Again, Smith with the testing kick. Freeman jumping, catching. And it was Corey Aronson who did a good job to stop him as he came down. But England still. George! With the roar of Twickenham in his ears.
And nothing live.
Lawrence. Freeman to the right. South Africa have him, and it would seem Underhill marked. So Cunningham South goes on his own, runs into the right shoulder of Khaleesi. Atoje, the next to give it a go. England penalty.
Got a freebie. Marcus Smith looking where the space is.
Stewart, oh, he goes again, very nearly gets there. The work of Kolbe to stop him, of all people.
Give the forwards one more go, and then it has to go out to the back. Smith's calling people tighter. He's screaming for it. Here it comes.
Here it comes. England with numbers. Smith, it's a bouncing ball. It's not easy, but Stewart!
To target the smaller wings with the height. And Freeman here asks for the ball. The crossfield kick comes. Freeman rises high in between the two defenders. And then England play patient. Marcus Smith sees it, a little show and go with a punt pass to lose the blitz defence that are desperate to get off the line. And then once he gets the ball through, but we've just heard the TMO say he wants to look at a potential net roll.
You're on screen.
Yeah, it's going to be a no try. Clearly around the net, 4 white. Net roll here, penalty against England.
15 and 5. 50 metres and 5.
Well, both sides have had tries scratched off at the start of this second half. So Pollard with the penalty. So Tom Roebuck is on for England. His first test at Allianz Stadium, Twickenham. As England look to dig in again and regain a lead they thought they'd regained a minute or so ago. Van Portfleet, Atoje, Smith. Ollie Lawrence takes on, hits a bit, knocks him over. England with a renewed purpose here. There's a bite about what they're about. Smith, and they're quick over the ball as well to retain possession. Genge.
Move!
George Martin. Next up. So Tommy Freeman has gone into midfield with Slade off for his HIA. High ball taken well by Andre Pollard, and then The evasive works. However, England with the penalty.
Good decision, Nick. You've got to move out the way and allow a free challenge and free chase. Robert gets blocked on the way through.
I don't think Marcus Smith had seen that it was Pollock out there, obviously a bit taller. That strategy of kicking to the smaller back three players South Africa have. Pollard in a hurry to kick this off while England's still celebrating.
Martin backpedaling and then braces himself for the hit that comes. Led by Du Toit. Underhill couldn't gather, and that looked like it might have been knocked on initially by England. Either way,
it will stop.
What is JVP doing? It's a knock on. Yeah.
Let's go, please, guys. Bind!
All posing questions that Lawrence and Smith don't want to leave big gaps. Ease the pressure.
Stewart's having to answer often. England, though, have lost the line-out.
Yes, 2 knock-ons. First and then second.
England knock on first.
England, then second by Green, we can't play on.
England conceded 103 metres from kicks from penalties, whereas South Africa only conceded 23. So an extra 10 metre every kick makes a big difference.
Van Poortvliet has given that plenty of air. Kolbe never got to it. Stewart. Advantage didn't last long. Mapalele Fassi.
It's on to go here. 2 passes.
Forward to Smith's left. Fassi doing valiantly to try to get there. And Freeman.
Great take from Pollard. Freeman flies one-handed and he just blocks, as Freddie Stewart did in the first half. Uses his body to block the chaser.
Don't hold him! Don't hold him! Use it!
Mark's wandering around, but it will be Williams and the high-hoisted clearance into the arms of Stewart. Falls back into the arms of Khaleesi.
Use it!
This test match beautifully balanced right now as we approach the final quarter. England ahead by a point. South Africa penalty, though. England falling off their feet.
Arrive up 3.
Henry Slade has passed his head injury assessment. He's down below us, preparing to come back on. So too Dan Cole. Seen that film before, although that was even more spectacular. Jesse Creel lifted by Khaleesi.
Use it!
Smaller man hoisted high by a bigger man, and it's worked for South Africa. Williams, kick to be chased by Arendse. Quality of the aerial work all night from Stewart, doing the job that he was brought in to do.
Use it!
Freeman rotates back in so he can chase this kick now.
Fassi.
Onside.
Visa, he can empty the tank. He might not know it, but he's about to be replaced by Quokka Smith.
Okay, bring him on.
Pollard. Again, Arendse trying to time his run. Oh, that was a fair contest for the ball as he went up with Stewart.
I don't think it was, Nick. I think he played his arms on the ball. That's a knock-on anyway, so we'll get to see it now. Does he go for the ball, or does he go for his arms? Takes his arm.
Can't pull that arm down. The referee's now seen it on the big screen. Changed his decision.
Good contest initially. Then pulled down in the air.
Into the final quarter. England behind. Final quarter has been their undoing all autumn so far. Is this final quarter to be their final quarter? Well, they've put themselves in the position to do something positive.
Yes, agree. Broke away. Leave it! Use it!
Underhill peels back round, so to Itoje. It is Itoje, fed by Cole.
Yeah.
Earl. Martin.
All is there.
England's
Hold
new
him
scrum
down.
half, Harry Randall.
Leave him, leave him.
To his teammate Ellis Genges. Bears teammate, but England
Fine, and then you pulled him down.
not protecting the ball well enough.
It's too easy, isn't it? It's meat and drink to the South Africans.
Pollard, Smith. Pollard bouncing around on his toes. It's Diolende first, however. And he's got through the brute strength, and then the pass to Kolbe. And Kolbe's feet take him over the line. It's been a tale of fast South African feet, and nothing England can do about it.
What Kolbe, we know, is electric. Again, that hard press. Slade misses the tackle, he hinges in but then doesn't complete, and then Slightholme tries to shut the door, and yet again that right-footed step of Kolbe. Two players hinge in, he gets through, Slightholme out of position, tries to race to the touchline. Kolbe sees him coming, puts the brakes on and just steps inside him, and then he's got the acceleration to get back up to speed and over the line.
He's got it as well, takes them to 2 scores.
That is a marvellous kick. Shake of the head from Richard Wigglesworth. England have brought on Finn.
Away!
Smith tries to get underneath the kick first. Colby's got there again and hoists into the arms. Oh, that was loose from Cunningham South.
5, early drive. Yeah, they're 10. Inside 5, right now it's over.
Line out one by Martin.
Don't change! Manage.
Free shot for England.
Randall, knowing that they have the advantage, looking for Lawrence, taken by Pollard.
So there's 3 penalties at the line-out maul. Okay, 2 in the air, 1 man collapsing. Tidy up, please. Yeah.
Sam Underhill, a try scorer for England just before half-time, has done his shift.
Timing's good in the 5. Line-out over. That's a maul! 1 stop! Don't change!
England have to use it now. Randall, Slade. Atoje, England thumping hard up the middle. Cunningham South. And the big tackle from Khaleesi helping to release the ball. And South Africa have it back. And Kolbe this time uses his right foot to wallop the ball away. What about that?
Bounced.
Cunningham South with the catch.
I was happy there, mate. He's down on the ground.
Randall, Smith.
Okay, number.
He's wondering where best to go with Quokka Smith blocking his route. Cowan-Dickey. He takes on Steenekamp. He's been with us for a while, and Che's first half injury. And we're going to have a yellow card. An accumulation of penalties. Penalty on penalty on penalty. 9 South African penalties in this second half. And the 9th cost them the yellow card and 10 minutes in the bin for the prop Steenekamp. That was a good draw. Sharp, snappy to Cunningham South. England penalty. Penalty against Peter-Steph du Toit. Might be another card, let's see. Cunningham South. Once again, England throwing logs on the fire. Randall. This is Baxter, Finn Baxter. Another penalty. Don Brown.
Still advantage.
Randall might dip under himself. Cole looks interested. He gives it away to Don Brandt instead. Can't stretch out. Slade screaming for it. You can see him.
Freeman outside him, Slade.
Have the forwards got their ears open? They're driving for the line.
He's legal. Going back offside. Tom off. So already a player in the bin. 7's then collapse some more, and then we go offside. So I'm very prepared to put somebody else in a bin. Okay, if there's another one here, right? 7 collapse some more, then offside here. Okay, pulling players out of the more. No.
They're putting pressure on South Africa aerially to try and give away another penalty. And if they don't, they might just be not quite as aggressive in their defence.
let me through.
What a let-off that is. It's a classic case of you don't need to overcomplicate it. You're already a forward up. Does he dummy throw? Little, yeah.
They get the call slightly wrong in their mind, or if there's two options, they might start to go through with the first option. It's just those little details.
Vincent Koch, Malcolm Marks, and Wilco Lowe.
Good stay. Ball is lifted on the away. Okay. Use it!
Brilliant from Kobus Reinach there. Realised that they were under-resourced at that ruck and didn't wait. Got in over the ball, but England have stolen this one.
Into the final 10 minutes, England still with opportunity.
Just saw Peter Steph du Toit at the left-hand side of your screen, just saying he got taken out by George Martin. Otherwise, he would have been there on the clear-out.
Coming in south again. South Africa have conceded the last 5 penalties. Can England make them pay? Cowan Dickey.
Don't change.
South Africa managed to spin that round, and England will have to go again. Slade, Lawrence. They've had very little change from South Africa's midfield today. Jesse Creel with the big tackle.
3 times they've run it. Each time they've lost the gain line 5 metres further back and turned over again. Slade looks, he's carrying the ball. He looks like he's going to drop it out the back. Instead, he gives it to Lawrence, who gets smashed. Drop the ball out the back, put it in Marcus Smith's hands. He's been a magician in the last 3 weeks.
England closing the gap at the line-out.
South Africa have continually kept England in the hunt for the time being. Another mistake. Smith, Freeman. Beyond Slade to Freddie Stewart. Randall, despite the best work of Quokka Smith. Marcus Smith. Lawrence looks for space. And then uses his strength. Delivers it back nicely for Itoje. Looks for white-shirted mates. Gets snagged up by Kobus Reinach instead.
18 first man.
Just a bit of indecision.
You've got a feel for Itoje there, because he gets in the right position, he picks the ball up from the base, and then Marcus Smith says, no mate, I don't want it, go back the other way. And just confuses him. He's in great position, just put it in your hands. And just puts the big lock under a lot of pressure.
They've been some way off their best today, but it's been good enough at the moment to put them in a winning position against England.
Don't collapse! Don't change.
Reinach waits.
No!
Pollard calling for it. It's Reinach again. He told some stories during his time up in the English East Midlands at Franklin's Gardens. England conceding the penalty. That might be terminal.
Not rolling first, tackler.
Low.
Thank you.
Oh, here's a signal of intent.
More!
Run out taken by Lowe, who claims that Nick Ezekwe, who's on, had him around the net for a moment or two, which he did. But it's to stop the progress of the match. Marks lays it back low. Double shift for him today. All this, remember, with South Africa a man down. Still without Steenekamp. But still the ones asking the questions. Beyond Low to Marks.
Away!
Marcus Smith with the tackle. Here's Lowe, Elric Lowe, a dozen caps now. Lukanyuam came in. Pollard drop goal to finish it. Slahan did what he could, but Kolbe was there first. Slahan would have learnt a thing or two this evening against Cheslin Kolbe. Taken on by Lowe. Lowe very much the man that South Africa think might be the long-term replacement for Peter Steph du Toit. Smith calls for the mark.
He's come 10, right?
Time against England, scoreboard against England. Marcus Smith.
He's laxing.
Snaffle.
Although Reinach went early there, I think Marcus Smith was moving towards kicking the ball, and that's the trigger for when you're allowed to leave.
Hold, Hooker. Hold,
Not so young anymore.
Inside 5, line out over. Down. 8, clear release, back on the ball.
It's been a match of 26 penalties. And, a match that it's rather lost its shape actually in this final quarter, hasn't it?
So disappointed in how they've played in the last 3 quarters of their last 3 games. They've been in contention of all of them. They've thrown it away on each occasion.
Cunningham South.
Thank you. Strip is good.
That'll do. That'll do. And it continues to be a bleak English autumn. 5th defeat in a row now. Their worst run for 6 years. And Steve Borthwick will have to answer more and more questions until England remember how to win. South Africa, without being at their best today in southwest London, good enough. Final score, England 20, South Africa 29.